What's up, guys? Big Papa Drock back with another Raid Shadow Legends video, and I hope you guys have all been well. It's been a little bit since I've gotten to say hello. I know a lot of people have missed the live streams, and I promise they're going to return hopefully sooner rather than later, and all of the reasons why I haven't been able to do it will be made clear at that point in time. But this isn't a video about live streaming. This is a video about a champion that recently got buffed, and I decided to build her and see just how good she really is in arena. Because one of the last live streams I did, everybody was telling me, like, listen, Drock, you're sleeping on Queen Ava, bro. You're sleeping on Queen Ava after the buff. And I took her out and I tried her a little bit in arena. I was like, yeah, she seems really good, but I wasn't like necessarily blown away. So I decided to put some of my like overall best gear on her and just get her to an absolutely insane build. So that's what we're gonna take a look at today. We're gonna take a look at what does she do with really high level gear on her in Platinum Arena, and could she be someone that I might want to bring into live arena once I make my return? So just to give you an idea about her skills, the A1 attacks one enemy. This skill is all right, nothing that great, but what you'll notice is it says has an extra 15% chance of inflicting a critical hit. And man, this is what really I think makes her special, and is one of the most underrated parts of her kit. Because it isn't just the A1 that has this extra 15% chance, it's the A2 and the A3, which means you can build her with significantly less crit rate than most other champions, and therefore build her with a lot more attack and a lot more crit damage. And that is what makes her so scary and so nasty. And if you think about it, there are other champions in the game that have, crit rate bonuses, right? One of the first ones that comes to mind, one of my favorite nukers back when I was first starting the game is Ethos, right? So Ethos has an always critical attack. He has attacks on enemies, his attack is always critical. So really cool, nice. Like, oh, I would have to build him with 0 crit rate. But the problem is none of his other skills have any type of crit chance bonus. So basically this is pointless. This doesn't do much to help you because your two other skills, you don't get guaranteed crits. By the way, Ethos needs a serious buff, especially in today's arena. So Plarium, if you happen to watch this, please buff this champion. He's god-awful now when it comes to what's available, in the meta at the moment. And Queen Ava is a really great example of this, right? So where is she? I always lose track of her. There she is, Spirit Affinity. So taking a look at her skills, we got the A1, nothing special, puts hero reduction, puts block buffs. All right, cool. Block buffs actually could be helpful in certain scenarios. The A2 is what they buffed. And this skill is bonkers insane because what they did was they added in a 50% ignore targets defense on this skill. And this skill already blocked revived on anyone that it killed. And it's a 2-hitter, which is really useful getting past champions like Ultimate Death Knight. So this is one of the most powerful skills in the entire game. It is insane how much damage this skill can do. And we're going to take a look and actually test that out. But this is the big buff, and this is what has made a massive difference. And the thing is, with an ignore 50% of the target's defense here, you can hypothetically ignore up to 100% of the target's defense on the skill and guarantee that block revive. So this is the main thing you would see used in arena with Queen Ava. She does have an AoE, so she's got energy drain here, which decreases turn meter by 20%. The cool thing about this skill is it resets the cooldowns on each of this champion's skills if any target is killed. Again, and it gets that 15% chance, bonus chance of inflicting a critical hit. So this skill doesn't hit super hard, but the fact that you can reset your cooldowns on something like this, that in conjunction is pretty nasty when you think about it. So I've got a +4 Eva or Ava, as you can see, +4. She's not quite fully awakened, but she does have all the extra crit damage. And this build is pretty insane stats-wise when you take a look. Blessing-wise, I just have Soul Reap on her. Frankly, this isn't really the best choice anymore. This Blessing's kind of been outclassed. You could honestly, they're releasing new Blessings, and I think one of them does more damage to Stone Skin. Frankly, for Queen Ava, that actually might make sense because of how strong this A2 is, because it can actually obliterate through Stone Skin in some instances. Even on really tanky champions, provided they don't have a reaction set on it. So you could do, that new blessing when it comes out. I can't remember the name of it. Obviously, if I had a 6-star blessing on her, it would be polymorph more than anything else. just because it is still so hilariously overpowered, which it sounds like Plarium is starting to finally acknowledge what they should have acknowledged a year ago. But anyway, this is a video about Queen Ava and not me complaining about polymorph like I usually do. So let's take a look at the build and what we've got. Now, you'll notice we got Savage on her. We also got Cruel, so she's got 30% ignore defense, and then she has 2 reaction accessories. One of the biggest differences between how I would probably build her if I were building her strictly for a live arena and not testing out her max damage potential is I would probably put her in a stone skin and Savage build, which is all the rage nowadays, just because she is very much a glass cannon. So let's take a look at the pieces. We got a triple crit damage roll. Again, we don't need as much crit damage or as much crit rate on her as other champions because of those 15% bonuses she gets on every skill. So a lot of these pieces are crit damage and attack percentage heavy. I've glyphed up a ton of this stuff. Look at the crit rate, speed. Like, these pieces aren't necessarily in like my entire collection the absolute best, but because she needs lower crit rate, these are the best pieces for what we're looking to do, which is boost her attack up and boost her crit damage up. So hilarious, it's a rare chest plate, but double crit rate plus crit damage plus an attack ascension, that's why it ends up here. And then we've got a crit damage glove with crit damage ascension plus attack, flat attacks. This would have been great if it landed on this, but still, overall, really good pieces here. The artifact pieces, though, or the accessory pieces, are absolutely bonkers on her. I've got a triple roll on attack with attack ascension plus speed. I've got, you know, the reaction crit damage with crit damage ascension. This could have better rolls on the attack, but check out this freaking ring, guys. Quad attack with a max ascension. Oh, and its reaction. This is about the best possible piece you could hypothetically get, other than like having max rolls here. So this could be a little bit higher if all the rolls have been 7, but holy smokes, what a piece, right? So when you get it all combined, her stats are freaking bonkers. We're looking at over 10,000 attack, 10,152 attack with 240 speed and 373% crit damage. I mean, good God, that is insane. That's some of the best stats I've ever put on a nuker overall. And again, it's because you don't have to build her with as much crit rate. This is such a strong part of why she is so good. Now, again, glass cannon, 48k HP and only 2,700 defense. She ain't surviving long in arena if you don't protect her. So this is definitely a champion you got to bring somebody in to protect her, or you hypothetically put her in stone skin and try to keep her alive that way. But she is very susceptible to get nuked into the ground before she has a chance to take a turn. So let's take her into a dragon and let's see what she can do. And we'll compare her with someone like Georgia, for example, with that A2, because I'm really curious to see the damage that it does. So, all right, Dragon 23, this is my normal test area. Again, we don't put lots of crazy stuff like Gerp Tuck or other things like that, because realistically in arena, that's never going to happen. You're not going to be seeing those kind of teams typically. That's super not practical. So yeah, we try to avoid all that stuff. We only do tests that we think are somewhat practical. And again, you could even argue in today's meta that bringing Lydia in is pointless as well, because most of the time you're not going to land decreased defense or weaken on enemy champions anymore, right? Like, that's very much kind of a Madame Sarah's type thing from the past. But because all my tests are done with this, that's why I do it this way. So let's take a look. We got Arbiter for increased attack. Let's see what she does. We got Georgian for the comparison. Really curious. I mean, I've seen in practice this skill hit for absolutely bonkers damage, but all right. Now I've got my Georgian built in Stone Skin and Savage right now. So his crit damage is nowhere near hers, nor is his attack. Keep that in mind. But I do find that his A3 can be somewhat similar, since it has the ability to ignore 100% of defense if it procs the passive, which is the big thing with George's. You know, does it proc that 50% chance to ignore 50% of the defense? So we'll just take a quick little blast here. Ooh, didn't get the passive there. 154k, so that wasn't so great, but it does let us hit with the A2. We're going to start with the A2 first, which is the double hitter. I want to hit both hits, but frankly, I might just kill this other champion with one hit. So let's find out. So, all right, let's go. Boom. Yeah, it was only one hit. I didn't even get a chance to put the decreased defense and weaken up because these champions are actually faster than my Lydia. Oh my God. Wow. That's nuts. That is nuts. 282 on one of those two hits without decreased defense or weaken. So now let's do it. Let's just quickly do the AoE. I don't even know if these champions frankly survive the Georgian AoE here. Let's find out. They don't. 282 though, 354 we saw on that champion. So that's great. So we have 354 as a baseline for the Georgian AoE. Let's go back and do the A2 again. And this time, let's remember to try to wait and get the Lydia buffs or debuffs, I should say, up there. So we'll just A1 with the Georgian. God, that A1 is just filthy. Well, A1 with the Lydia, nowhere near the damage potential, as you can see. It's not a very strong hitting A1. Now let's get the decreased defense and the weaken up, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to test. I mean, there's no way any of these champions, I think, survive even one hit from Queen Ava. So I don't know how we're going to be able to test this, but we're going to use the Georgian A3 over here. This champion's slightly weaker defense-wise. 337,000 there. Nice. There's the Georgian A1 again, destroying everything. All right, Queen Ava. Let's see here. Can we get... We're not going to get more than one hit on this for sure. All right, one hit. Boom, 345. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. 345,000 damage on one hit of a two-hit ability. That is basically 700k, guys. This, and I don't even know if Helm Smasher procced. Like, I wish I could tell if it procced, but just to give you an idea of how insanely strong that is, right? That is freaking nuts. That is nuts. That's nuts. Oh, we can actually use the A3 here on Renegade who's left over. So let's see what the A3 does. Again, not a super strong hitting A3, just a one hit, but let's find out. Where we get 364. Not bad, right? Not the best that I've ever seen, but certainly not horrendous. Decent, a decent hitting A3. Let's do one more test. We're going to test again, just the A3. I mean, that A2 is freaking bonkers, though. 750k basically is what you're hitting for there. And again, I don't even know if Helm Smasher procced. Maybe it does even more. I have no clue. Golly goodness. It's nuts the amount of power creep we've had in the game, right? You think back to 3 years ago, and there is not a single champion in the game that could have done this. I mean, maybe like someone like a Kitus on 0 HP, but wow, what a difference. What a difference a couple years have made in RaidShadowLegends in terms of builds too. Because 10,000 plus attack with over 370% crit damage, that wasn't happening either. All right, we're gonna do the A3 here. We got the decreased defense weaken up. 368, yeah, so she's not the most massive AoE dealing damage champion, right? Like, those are good. They're not bad by any stretch of the imagination. They're really solid. But they're not gonna compete with like the top tier damage dealers, like, for example, maybe Taurus with tons of buffs, or God, I don't know, even Alaz I think could do a lot of damage with his double hitter. So still really solid, and that A2 was what we come for. That is what makes her so special in Arena. So speaking of which, we're in Platinum. Let's go into Platinum Arena and let's see if we can actually break some Stone Skin on some UDK teams. That's our goal here. See if we can break some Stone Skin, or even Stone Skin. I mean, the Lizard Affinity isn't great, but let's see what we can do here in Platinum Arena with Queen Ava. And I should use the filter, but as we all know, for some reason, I just love to find the champions myself. So again, biggest problem with Ava in the arena, she is so easy to kill. She is terrifyingly easy to kill, and in a time and age where someone like Narcissus exists who can easily block revive her with his A3, it's a scary thing sometimes to pick her up. But for Wukong teams like this, you know, for Wukong teams, she makes a ton of sense. And hey, the A1 there is strong enough when we didn't get the weak hit. So now we can block revive on the Wukong. Say goodnight, son. It's over. Sit down. you're done. You're done. So that's really one of her biggest use cases, right? Champions like Sun Wukong that keep coming back, well, they're never going to come back. He's dead, and he's dead forever because of that block revive. Just insane damage. Frankly, I don't even think it would have mattered if he had reaction because of how strong that ability can be. So let's see here. We get a res potentially. We're going to get to the res, or am I going to get off the A3 and kill everybody? Looks like we got the A3 off. Everybody dies. Strong enough to get it done. Not bad. How strong was the player power? Solid. Let's take a look here. What do we got here? Oh, nice. We got Taurus, Marichka. This should be interesting. We got Lazarius. Oof, we got Galathir, though. This could be scary because she's not super fast. So she might get her stuff locked out. So let's see what we can do here. He's not in Stone Skin, so I would imagine he's got to be in reaction, one would think, right? Wonder if, can I kill the Marichka with the A1? No, can't quite. Oh, well, the Soul Reap didn't do jack diddly. All right, so he's not built correctly here. I want to try and kill this Lazarius through Stone Skin, but the weak hit makes me concerned. But you know what? Screw it. We're going to go for it. We'll hope we don't get weak hit here, and hope he doesn't have reaction, so he very well might. Boom, boom. Oh, weak hit. But even with weak hits, what the hell? Even with weak hit, we almost obliterated his Stone Skin. Good God. Now we're all gonna die now. Like I don't think we live this. Okay, we do. This isn't a super well built Lazarius, because super strong Lazarius would have annihilated the Yumiko there. But let's see if we can somehow pull this out. Don't switch forms, Galathir. Please, my sweet Galathir. Let's try to just, yeah, there you go. Okay, he's reviving. He's doing all sorts of fun stuff. What the hell's going on? Is the game frozen? No, it was just thinking for a second. So, all right, let's see what we can do. We did get a kill. She survived thanks to Necrit. So we've reset our skills because we got a kill with the A3 with Ava. Again, super cool part of her kit, the ability to do that. All right, we got a weak hit again, man. Lots of weak hits, unfortunately, on the Lazarius, but he is now dead. Galathir will be the next to go. Block revive, and there you go. We can auto out. So that's the thing. Like, can you keep her alive? Can you keep her alive? Because her damage is truly, truly insane. Let's see if we can find a UDK team. The hardest part with UDK, of course, is just the reaction, right? So let's see if we can find we'll start, you know, this is actually good. We'll start with a weaker UDK team initially. Roto's kind of scary, though, versus the Necrit. And Armand's always fun. So let's see what we can do here. She can go through Stone Skin for sure. I've seen her do it. It's just a problem of reaction, right? That's the biggest problem here, is we have to deal with reaction. Let's just see if we can kill Armand's. Okay, we did get him with the A1. Duchess revived, unfortunately. But you know what? This is a great example. Let's see if she can blast through Duchess's Stone Skin now that reaction is gone. So let's see what she can do. Boom! She did. She took the Stone Skin off. Wasn't able to get enough damage, so I wonder if Helm Smasher procced there. It might not have. Again, impossible to tell. But, oh, never mind. Excuse me. What am I talking about? She literally hit the UDK first, and then one hit through Duchess's Stone Skin. Oh my God. I completely forgot that UDK absorbed one of those blows. Holy shit. That is nuts. She literally ripped through Duchess's Stone Skin with only one hit of her A2. And she clearly hit, I think, reaction on the UDK. I'll have to take a look at the video again. You guys can let me know. But I think she reactioned on the UDK because I feel like she would have done more damage to this as well. Wow. Are you kidding me? Good God. That is scary. That is scary strong, guys. That is just insane. See if we can get some of these buffs off. All right, we're going to trigger Rotos here, but we did get the kill on the Duchess. That wasn't a super tanky Duchess, since 100k was enough to kill her. So we know that's not super, super tanky like some of the god tier Duchesses you see in high-end arena. But even still, to rip Stone Skin off is pretty nuts. Well, now it's basically, we can just, say goodnight. We're pretty much dead at this point. Armands has gotten his turn, and look how fun Arena is when Armands gets a turn. Yep. That's super cool, man. I love this champion, bro. Yep. That's great. I'm playing the game at a high level now, guys. Yep. That's awesome. Oh, cool. We actually finally got one turn. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. That's a very well balanced champion that I know lots of people love because of how absurdly balanced he is. Anyway, before we had no chance to play the game, pretty crazy the kind of damage she can do, though, right? All right, here's a really strong team. Again, we have a Sun Wukong here. So this is a great example where she could be useful to block revive in the Sun Wukong. Can she block revive even with UDK sucking up one of those blows, right? Now, the scary thing here is the Ancora potentially giving the Narcissus another turn and she getting blasted right through the shield that just came up. But let's see. We should definitely be able to block revive here. Oh, look at the damage on one of those hits. Look at the damage to Stone Skin. That would have actually blown through Stone Skin on the UDK if both of those hits had crit, for sure, if they hadn't been reactioned. That is insane, dude. Over half of the Stone Skin gone. And this is a high-level team. This is a high-level team. And we did get the block revive, obviously, on the Wukong. But now you can basically say goodnight. Narcissus just obliterated everybody. Man, this champion is so strong. This is a really great example of how champions like Necrit have been absolutely devalued as a result of this champion's ability to make shields a thing of the past, right? He got his turn back, and Korra gave him his cooldown back, even though he'd shut him down. And all of a sudden, it's over. You know what I mean? But you saw an example of the power there. Let's do this. Let's do this team again, actually. Let's do this team again. And this time, we're actually going to bring in Warlord, so we get a longer lockout to try to keep alive longer. So we did a tier list recently, Scratch and I did, about a live arena. And the biggest thing with Yumiko is she doesn't have full cooldown, right? Or full lockout potential. So let's go with Warlord. And let's see what Warlord can do here. And also maybe turn back some turn meter. Good, that's great. That helps us out a lot. Okay, again, we'll just keep the Stone Skin up. We'll protect Arbiter. Look at that. That is a strong Sun Wukong. Let's go ahead and block revive on him. So we did get the reaction there that time. You saw there was very little damage done to UDK's Stone Skin. Again, that's one of the biggest things. Decreased cooldown again on the Narcissus. Can't even attack him with the Necrit. Another thing that's made Necrit less powerful is you can use the ally attack, but against Narcissus, it doesn't do a single thing because it's out of turn. So you really see how Narcissus has affected the meta. Holy God. Jesus. Say goodnight. Say goodnight. This is one of those things, right? This is what holds her back. And again, this is a strong team, right? This is a strong team. Very, very strong team. Let's try one more time. See if we can get the win here. This is where her being faster could help, but the problem that you run into is the RNG of reaction, right? And even though we got the increased cooldown here, the Ancora is getting good RNG, allowing... Let's actually do something a little different. Let's try to kill the Sun Wukong with the ally attack. And now let's see if we can kill the Narcissus with one hit of the A2. Yeah. Yeah. Your boy is toast. Your boy's toast. Holy smokes, man. Obliterated him. I got to try this on Taurus. I'm really curious to see what this hits for on Taurus. But, oh, man. What a hit. Let's get that skill back, yeah? Die, Sun Wukong. Decrease the cooldown. We're back. Our A2 is back. We can block revive again. We won't get to take a turn, most likely, before Sun Wukong goes. But let's see if we can ally attack. Nope, that A1 not strong enough. That's okay. We're going to put another buff up here just to make sure we don't get any issues with the stun. And now, my friend, boom! Sit down, and now we can go full auto. Let's go. Good God. That is crazy, the damage that A2 does when you can get it to actually hit without reaction, right? Again, A3, not anything to write home about, not super, super strong. It's the one big thing that holds her back beyond the fact, God, Soul Reap sucks. Is it just not working correctly anymore? There's no Harima on this team. Why did it not kill? Oh, she was dead. Okay, weird. That was, what the fuck? This game is, whee! The Ancora apparently was dead, but just didn't look like she was dead. I've noticed so many more bugs recently. I don't know about you guys, but they really need to clean up some of this coding on some of these bugs because it's pretty rough. All right, let's try against this is a nasty team here. Let's try against the Taurus. Can we kill a Taurus in spite of his skill stuff? Hopefully he doesn't have stone skin. He does not. So let's go ahead and good. We got a turn meter decrease. That's great. See if I can. Oh, why did I do this? This doesn't help. I forgot. Well, hey, block buffs. Cool. Always got to remember that Narcissus doesn't care about ally attack. It doesn't help him. And he got a decreased cooldown. All right. No reaction or potentially reaction to Taurus. Let's see what we can do here. Bro, just obliterated Taurus, block revived. That is insane. There are so few skills in the game that can do what we just saw right there. That got through Taurus's passive without having a specific ability like ignores passive, ignores passive, like for example, Narcissus would do with his A2. That is insane damage, guys. That is crazy. Oh, I don't think we're gonna be able to get a turn. Oh, we're not. Man, that Ancora combo, super, super strong. Let's go one more time. Let's just see if that was a fluke. Did Helm Smasher proc? Did it not proc? We did 150,000 damage total between those two hits off of the A2 and Queen Ava. That is just filthy disgusting. Filthy, filthy, filthy. All right, let's see if we can kill this Ancora. Nope, couldn't quite get it. God, the counterattack too is smart. He must have revenge accessories or something on her, which makes a lot of sense since it has a chance to increase the cooldowns. Let's go again on the Taurus. Oh, I think we got did we get a reaction on that? Did we not proc Helm Smasher? It's so tough to see sometimes. I couldn't tell. Regardless, still massive, massive, massive damage on the Taurus. God almighty, look at what our boy's doing. So interesting, he's got Life Harvest on Narcissus, which actually makes a lot of sense because he gets to take so many turns when combined with the Chorus. This is a really interesting classic team, right? You see the strength here. He gets his turns back when you revive. Really, really, really cool team that RC's got here. Again, RC, I've seen a lot of solid people in this clan, solid players, but man, just that strength, guys. That strength is nuts. This is actually a really great use case here. Let's see if we can find a stronger Harima team. Stronger Harima team, because one of the big counters to Queen Ava, of course, is Harima. This works. This will work because of her passive, right? So Harima hard countering Queen Ava's passive, but let's see how much it affects. Keeping, let's see if we can just kill Marichka or do some damage to her. All right, we didn't get crit there. Nice. Or we didn't get weak hit, I should say. All right. Can we, I seriously doubt. Also, another glitch here. Is this only one? There's one stack, maybe? I don't know what the hell's going on with that. We'll take a look and see if that's a 6-star Harima. Maybe it's not. But, okay. You should still say the number, shouldn't it? I think. Maybe I'm nuts. All right, let's just see here. What can we do? Could have reaction. Okay, I don't think that she had reaction. Looks like we did as much damage as we could do. Yeah, so it was multiple stacks. That is a glitch. It's another glitch. Another glitch they got to fix here where we're not getting a number on that stuff. Really got to tighten that up, man. There's a lot of bugs I've seen recently. I'm going to make a whole video about it, actually, I think, because it needs to be talked about because we're seeing some real quality issues on like stuff that has to be addressed. All right, so we do get the kill here. Big damage. Ward of the Fallen's gone, which reduced the damage. Obviously, again, we have no idea how many stacks. I'm guessing it's 3. Who knows? All right, do we die from the counterattack here? We do reset the turn. We don't die. Thank you, Necrit. Okay, let's go back around. I would also say one of the big things too with Queen Ava is that just like that, how important it is to have that protection, right? If you don't have that protection, she's just not going to be viable. She's not going to be able to do much. So that's the tough thing, right? Who do you have to protect her? You have Necrit, and Necrit super out of the meta because of Narcissus. Like, as you saw, like Narcissus just makes Necrit a joke. So really, really hard counter. All right, let's see if we can kill the Harima. Oh, you know what? The freaking whatchamacallit, the UDK is the reason why we didn't get the Harima kill, I think. That's why, because I got to remember, UDK is sucking up a lot of these blows. All right, we did get the block revive there. So UDK, got to remember that UDK is on the team here sucking up the blows. Can we kill Taurus? We did with the A1. Now we just go full auto. So again, you can see like the niche use case for her. I would also say she definitely requires increased attack. You have to have super high attack on her to make this viable. And you kind of have to get lucky on certain champions that she does proc Helm Smasher. Without Helm Smasher, she doesn't necessarily do enough damage, because keep in mind, even with this god tier build, she's only, special silver. She's only ignoring, I think, 80% defense, which is still a lot, but that extra 20 does really matter. Yeah, we got 25 from Savage. We got 5 from Cruel. That's 30 plus this. That's 80 when you combine it. So again, she has the ability to ignore 100% when she hits that Helm Smasher proc. And I should have shared the masteries. I completely forgot. Let me share those right now so you can see quickly. So we got her in Cycle of Violence. We also went with Ruthless Ambush over Whirlwind of Death, because I want those first hits to do as much damage as is humanly possible, given we're trying to block revive. And then, of course, Helm Smasher and Kill Streak to increase her damage. So pretty standard stuff here. We also got her doing counterattacks as well. So yeah, like standard, nothing crazy on the masteries here. But again, a really, 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 really interesting champion. The buff, certainly an improvement over where she was at. I think the biggest things that hold her back is this A3 is really not scary in terms of damage. The best part about it is the reset on the cooldown is huge, but even with these insane stats, keep in mind, again, over 10k attack, over 373% crit damage. Even with that, the A3 is not that of hard hitting relative to other champion skills, and AoE damage is some of the most important stuff in the entire game. It's what makes a nuker, in my opinion. You can't really nuke if you're not obliterating everything. But again, for certain stuff like Sun Wukong, this is such a great skill. So powerful. So is she viable in live arena? Is she someone that you could pick into live arena? I think the answer is yes, but it needs to be situationally at the top level because of how hard she is to keep alive. And I also think I would have to rebuild her in a stone skin set to try to give her a better chance of, one, not being controlled. So reaction, super huge for keeping champions alive, of course, but it's still not as good as stone skin overall most of the time, especially on nukers. And on top of that, it doesn't prevent her from being controlled, right? So she can be slept by a Sifi, stuff like that. So I do think she has some niche use in live arena, but I wouldn't put her at the top tier as some of the other champions that exist nowadays, mainly mythicals, that are just overall have, I would say, a little bit better kit. But again, would I bust her out versus Sun Wukong? Absolutely. Absolutely. For people who are using champions like that are super weak nukers like Georgian, hypothetically, if you can survive or get a UDK on your team to block that A3 so he doesn't put her down going through Stone Skin, yes, she is very scary. So any kind of other weak nuker, I think she is a phenomenal play in those instances. But yeah, man, crazy build. Just goes to show you, though, how strong some of these meta champions really are. Because if you were asking me, would I rather have a +4 Queen Ava, right, with these insane stats, or would I rather have my +1 Narcissus? I'd rather have my Narcissus. So I got to do a video on Narcissus. I never did one. So I think I'll do one on him next. Do a video on Narcissus and show you my Narcissus build. But yeah, just crazy how the meta has changed, guys. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of Queen Ava after the buff. Do you use this champion in arena? Do you use her in live arena? What are your stats on her? Are they anywhere near mine? Maybe they're better. Who knows? Tough to do, but not impossible. There are a lot of people with incredible gear. But thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for support. I will catch you on a video soon. And I hope you have a wonderful day. And tell your family that you love them, right? All right, guys. See you later. Big Papa Drock out.